Hello, gorgeous Taurus family, and welcome to October 2020. You know what this means, right? When it's October, especially as we get into later October and Scorpio season, we are starting to come into a really important point in the year for Taurus when it comes to review and reflection and connecting in to your journey this year. We're in the oppositional season to when it was your birthday or when it was connected to your rising or moon sign, right? And so we are in a time when, for Taurus, this is a beautiful time to rebalance, to check in, to harmonize, to take good care of yourself. It's also interesting because, we start the month off too in Libra season with Sun moving through Libra. And that means that you're also checking in with your physical, which is so important for Taurus, right? Like your energy with Venusian energy being very connected to the physical and to how we love on our vessels and love on the physical experience and how important and sacred that is. This month of energy with the Libran energy is really important for checking in on your rituals with your physical, on rituals with how you give and receive. And then as we move more and more into Scorpio season, it's also going to be themes around giving and receiving, integrity, honesty to self, where are you setting healthy boundaries. And this is an important month for some really deep self-care, and I mean that in like kind of a hygiene way. I always talk about like radical self-care, which is, it's not always just the fun stuff. It's also like going to the dentist or cleaning out the dust bunnies, right? It's those things that we do that aren't often considered glamorous, but that when we do them with real deep intent, they nourish our lives and they create like this really rich soil for everything else to grow. It's an important month. The other thing I want to say before we get into planetary aspects and the cards is that take care of yourself in October. October, because we are dealing with a Mars and a Mercury retrograde, and we are shifting energies. Saturn and Pluto are going direct in Capricorn. We're coming out of a summer of the outer planets being in retrograde. We're starting to really see, and we're coming to a closeout with both Saturn and Jupiter. There's a lot going on in October. That's my point. And energetically, it's a very porous time where it's very easy to exchange energies. It's very easy to feel the collective energy. It's very easy to pick up on that guy walking past you on the streets energy, or a friend's energy, or what have you, right? It's really easy to be all enmeshed. And while sometimes that's a great thing, right? To be able to feel everything, to connect in with everything, to be able to kind of be a part of that, it's also important to be really clear with what it is you want to pick up at this time and to not always pick everything up, right? So that's my other message to Taurus. It's okay. You don't need to feel guilt or shame around not wanting to pick up every single energy. It's okay for you to not want to pick up every single identity, every single role. It's okay for you also to advocate for yourself and what you truly desire. You don't have to mitigate or minimize what it is you actually wish for. And to make that vocal and clear, not only to your spirit guides and to yourself and to your own personal process, but to anybody around you who's needing some clarifying on where you stand. You don't have to edit your voice or make yourself small at this time. You also don't have to like try and aggravate everybody, but it's okay to be really clear. And a card wanted to come out, Five of Cups. Okay, don't worry, my friends, we will talk about this. Five of Cups is a very important energy that I actually find it's one of the greatest catalysts we work with, and it's an essential part of this life. And it's one that in many of our cultures, in the Western world especially, has been edited out a bit. We'll talk about it. Once again, we're heading into Scorpio season 2, which is a big rebirth time. So this month, Saturn and Pluto direct in Capricorn. We have a full moon in Aries, so in your 12th house. What coming out? Seven of Swords. What was I just saying about being allowed to ask for what you want? Being allowed to ask for the roles you want in this life. allowing yourself to move forward and expand. Seven of Swords has something to say about that. Moon cycle is really important for you this month, Taurus. So pay attention to the moon cycle because we're having 2 moons. And guess what? Your full moon this year is a blue moon. It's falling on Halloween. Giving me shivers just thinking about this. I'm like, woo! Yes, it's a full moon on Halloween. Page of Wands. And we also have a full moon on October 1st to start the month. And that's in your 12th house in Aries, in your hidden, in your secretive, in your spiritual life. And I love this because I think about this moon cycle and it's like the first moon is about checking in with your soul, you know, checking in with your deep spirit, you know, that doesn't always directly translate to the external world, right? What came out? Page of Pentacles. And actually you got a 5th card too, 3 of Wands. Wow. Okay. You see how there's a progression going on here in this month's energies. I think you probably can notice that by now. You start with the full moon, illuminates your spiritual progression, how you're growing, how you're nurturing, how you're feeling energetically, and we end the month with a full moon in your sign, helping you rebirth, come to greater understanding of how you've grown, who you are now, how you want to relate to people, how you want to ask for what you really need, and how you're going to be really clear with that. And in between, we have a Libra new moon, which will really tie in once again to your physical care, how you're nourishing your vessel, how you're nourishing yourself, and even the Mercury retrograde this month. It starts in Scorpio, it moves back into Libra. So it's moving through your 7th house of relationships and your 6th house of your physical and your routines and your service. So these are this is all about boundaries. This is all about healthy give and receive. This is all about healthy ways of engaging with things. So let's talk about these cards because we got a lot going on and we have a lot to cover. Okay. Right away, you know, I think about the first week of October. It's kind of a sensitive time. So we have Saturn going direct on the 29th of September, actually. And then Pluto going direct on the 4th of October. And in between those 2 direct actions, we have an Aries full moon. It's kind of like some jarring energy in a way because it really shifts our focus out of what we've been focusing on since early summer, up in the Northern Hemisphere at least, for several months. And also, we're starting to get more and more into your mirror season. We're starting to get more and more into the thinning of the veil, more and more into this porous time. So it can open up some questions. It can open up some tenderness within your process as you're kind of navigating this month. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is not a linear month. You know, sometimes it feels like a month is like you start here, you end here, you see the progression. It's a nice straight line. Does time ever really work that way though? I don't know. But this month really is not focused on linear progression. It is focused much more on energetic waves and spirals, as I like to say. So we're starting the month off with some big review here. Now, I said at the beginning that the 5 of Cups is an important part of any growth in life. And it can be about bigger losses in life, but I think this is that place that you stand, you know, and I love the symbolism of this card because it's something that I honestly guarantee each one of you can remember a time when you've been standing in this space. You stand there and you know that one version of yourself, one part of your story, one part of your experience has closed. It's done. It might have been good, it might have been mixed, what have you, but it's done. And you know you're about to start another one. And you're excited about the next one, you're curious about it, you don't know everything about it yet, but you're standing there and there's that acknowledgement. Oh yeah, okay, like I am not where I was, I'm going somewhere different. And it's a mixed bag of emotions because on the one hand, there's grief, like everything's going to be new. I'm going to have to step into new shoes. I'm going to have to be honest with what it is I want. I'm going to have to, you know, try on new pieces of myself and open up new things. That's overwhelming. But I also know that I can't kind of revert back to maybe what I relied on as a source of nourishment or consistency in the past. And here's the thing, you are being asked to grow and change in some way, because Seven of Swords is always a telltale sign that you feel some imposter syndrome, that you feel like you're not allowed to ask for what you want, that you feel like you're like getting away with something, like you have to disarm the enemy from behind the scenes in order to be allowed to exist in this life. And that makes me think, Taurus, that, you know, whatever, this could be really subtle. Like things could be going really well in your life, and because they're going well, or because, you know, you're getting some of the things you want, that you are looking for reasons why you're getting away with it. Like you slipped past the security guard, the universal security guard, and you're in the VIP section where you're not supposed to go, and you're just waiting to be caught, right? It could also be that you're feeling this way in a much louder, visceral way, you know, where you're wanting to ask for what it is you really want. And that's the thing. It's okay to advocate for yourself within this liminal space right here. It's also okay to just watch yourself and notice where you're feeling maybe that imposter syndrome, or where you're feeling like you have to edit yourself down because you're afraid that in asking for your what you really fully want, and being really clear about it, is going to take something away from you, and the security guard's going to come and find you, right? But here's what's really interesting, Taurus. The next 3 cards are about the gifts that come in for you, right? Oh, dropping things. Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and 3 of Wands. These are things, this is your ships coming in, baby. These are opportunities opening up. These are connections being made. These are things moving in your life. And I think actually Scorpio season is a really great time for Taurus. It flows with you. Yes, it asks you to look really honestly at your life and just take a little assessment moment, you know, just to kind of like look around, see where you are, see what you really want. It also can really help you move forward fast. And there's a lot of clarity here. It's funny, this month is a very honest month. And Mars retrograde in your 12th house, you know, in your spiritual, authentic self, is going to be about that authenticity. And the more you lean into that authenticity, into your real, true requests, not what you think somebody else needs from you, not what you think the role you need to play for somebody else in order for that somebody else to be who you want them to be in your life, or for you to be who you think you need to be in life. No. What do you really want? What is it that you really want? That opens this door. And a lot of times I think, you know, we think we need to want 5 cars and a big house and like, but most of the time what we really want when we're really listening to that integrity inside of ourselves, it's, you know, it's very simple, sweet, wonderful things. Peace and calm so that we can rest and be creative. Commitment from those we love. Consistency, right? Maybe some adventure, something new to play with. Regardless, you're being asked to step fully into that truth. And it will bring back some really great clarity for you. And you know, the thing is, you don't have to sit here as you're listening to this, preparing for the month, getting into battle mode and being like, okay, well, I'm going to tell everybody what I think and I'm going to say it loud and proud and nobody's going to be able to ignore it. I mean, you don't have to go there. This is something that kind of innately happens. Whatever it is that's coming up with this 5 of Cups and 7 of Swords, when it comes to feeling like you've snuck past the security guard and you're grieving and you're somewhere new and you understand that you're somewhere new and that you are wanting to move forward in life, whatever that is that comes up, it will just, you'll know what this is, right? You'll know, you might already know. And innately what will happen is the more you listen to that and the more you let yourself hear it, the more you let yourself hear yourself, the more that will naturally bubble out of you and physically represent itself to you. But I do see some really beautiful clarifications and positive things coming your way. It does require, though, this listening into the deeper voice. It does require that. I will say that just to be clear here. I have some affirmations for you all to take with you during this really tender, really porous, really intense month, on the collective at least, right? I am safe and loved. I am allowed to blossom and grow. I have everything I need to move forward. I am protected and released from any energy that is not mine. I am safe and loved even when, and especially when, I ask for what I truly want. Oh, those feel so good. I feel like I'm going to adopt some of these Taurus affirmations for the month because they're so nourishing. And, you know, I do have a Taurus North Node, so I'm always like looking at Taurus, learning from Taurus, and tapping more into your energy because it's something that's so beautiful. So take good care of yourselves, trust in, lean in a little bit more. There's some really great things coming out of this month. And, you know, yeah, some emotional complexity. As you can see with these cards, it's not just grief and confusion or just joy and party time. It's like these things are working together and flowing together and having a conversation and helping to explore and expand what is next. So take such good care of yourselves. I will see you in November for more of this oppositional energy moving through Scorpio. The end of Mars retrograde happens in November. Another pretty intense month ahead. I'm so excited to go there with you. And of course, I'll see you for the full moons. We are going to be riding through those, and it's so exciting. I love you so much, and I will talk to you very soon. Oh, and oh my God, I didn't even tell you. You can find me on Patreon. You can find me on Patreon. I will leave the link below. We are doing all the deep work when it comes to Mercury and Mars retrograde, when it comes to the collective energy, how to work with it, what's going on. We do weekly work together. I create worksheets and all sorts of resources. So if you're looking for really affordable support at this time, a great place to go. You can also find me on my website and on Instagram at Sarah Verba. I'll leave all of those links below so you can find me. And you can also find PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry on her Etsy shop. I wear her stuff every day. I highly recommend you go check out what goodies she has in store. You never know. And I will see you all next month for more magic.